Hello, class. I want to talk to you guys today about the 1979 Chrysler um, guaranteed loan. So, the United States government in 1979 decided to guarantee a $15 billion loan to the Chrysler Corporation. So, a little background. In 1973, OPEC cut back production of oil. And this led to an energy crisis in the United States and other Western countries. And there were long lines for gas. And it was a crisis that was eventually solved, essentially went away. But by 1979, gas prices began to creep up. And Chrysler, unlike Ford, and unlike General Motors, had never really transitioned to a vehicle that got good gas mileage. And so by 1979, Chrysler is struggling. They always focused on the fast muscle cars, which you could argue they still do that today. You know, with the Charger, the Challenger, the Fast and the Furious series, it's Dodge, Chrysler. But by 1979, sales were really woeful, and Chrysler was going under. So the Carter administration looked at this very carefully, and they decided that they would make this really un-American movement, this effort, and they guaranteed the $15 billion loan. So they didn't loan the money, but if Chrysler was unable to pay this loan back, the United States government would pay it back. And they did it for several reasons. We'll talk about a few of these reasons now. One, if Chrysler goes under, there's going to be a heavy cost that's going to be felt rather quickly. So workers filing for unemployment. They would collect unemployment for a period of time. And then if they don't have gainful employment after that, then they will go and seek some kind of other safety net, whether it be food stamps. We have bridge cards today in Michigan. And that would be a considerable amount of money. Number two, Detroit was too big of a city to let be damaged in 1979. The hardship that Detroit would face with Chrysler going down, with the automotive industry, at that time, the big four, that would be a problem. Another reason is competition. With Chrysler out of the picture, Ford, GM, Honda, Toyota, Volkswagen, they would have a little more clout, and this could drive car prices even higher. So these are some of the main considerations. Another factor was the government believed that Chrysler would be able to produce a quality, fuel-efficient car, and this would allow them to stay afloat and remain competitive. So that was a key factor. And indeed, Chrysler is going to be headed by Lee Iacocca, and they are going to make a fuel-efficient car, the K car, and it does really well. And recently, Chrysler Dodge came up with a Dodge Dart that gets pretty good fuel mileage. They got rid of it when gas prices went down in 2016, 2017. But the important thing is they have the technology, they have the ability to go back to a fuel efficient car now. And so this was a contentious issue. Many people criticized the Carter administration that if Chrysler can't do it, they're gone. That's the market. The market did not fail the country in hundreds of years. And people did argue that, maybe Chrysler just isn't good enough. They're not capable enough. And if there is a need for another automaker, one will come forward. And an argument does have a little bit of weight to it. As you guys probably know, Chrysler is not by itself. They were with a German auto company, Daimler Chrysler. And today it's Fiat Chrysler. So maybe there was some merit in that. But it all worked out in 1979. The Carter administration, many people believe, made the right call. And they didn't lose all the money. The $15 billion was never in jeopardy as Chrysler paid the loan back. And they were pretty successful under Iacocca in the mid-'80s. And they definitely had a resurgence. And they ended up buying American Motors out in the mid-'80s. And Chrysler did eventually get into some trouble again later, as did General Motors. As we're going to see a little bit of this in 2008 when Barack Obama and his administration loaned money to General Motors. And again, that was criticized pretty heavily. It was called government motors for a while. And GM paid back the loan. They're doing pretty well now. And so history kind of repeated itself. The thing that really is puzzling, since 1973, the government, the auto industry has known that OPEC can really, influence gas prices. And 1973, quite a while ago, had some time to try and figure these things out. A couple of things in general I want to talk to you guys about. You guys are doing well. I'm monitoring your quiz scores. Your discussion posts are really good. So I want to encourage you, keep up the good work. I'm very impressed and encouraged by all your good work so far. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.